The Joker 2 movie is premiered at the Venice Film Festival, although it doesn't reach theaters for another month, October 4th. Screenrant's done a review of it. I'll just say, I got it up here on archive because Screenrant sucks. I'll just say this. The short version of it is any hopes you had for the movie, put in the dumpster because it seems like it's a pile of garbage. That's where it belongs. It's just trash. I'll go more in depth here in a minute because I'll go through most of the review. I'll also link it in the description box if you just want to read that for yourself. But the short version of it is a musical. It has elements of where Arthur and Lee, as they call her, because she's not even really Harley Quinn. She's Harley Quinn in name only, basically, Lady Gaga. But anyway, there's parts where they're singing and it's inside of Arthur's head. But then there's other times where they're singing in like real life, so to speak, within the movie, the context of the movie, which is stupid. I've never understood when movies do that. I'm not a musical fan. I don't know anyone who really is. I know the musical fans out there are passionate about it, but I just don't know if this would be it. Anyway, but then of course also the headline: an improved sequel engineered to antagonize Joker fans. That's just what you want from your movie. But anyway, then it begins where, oh well, one of the worries of the original movie was it could be dangerous. It might inspire disgruntled young men to commit acts of real life violence. In reality, what toxicity it generated emerges memes instead of movements, which you basically debunk your entire thing. But then the author, Alex Harrison, does read into this movie a lot. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute, but I mean, because there's certain parts where it's like, dude, you got issues or something. But anyway, in the wake of murdering Murray on live TV, at the end of Joker, Arthur's in the maximum security wing of Arkham while he awaits trial. Conditions aren't great, but he's been a model prisoner. His lawyer is convinced that Arthur and Joker are two split personalities stemming from his horrifically abusive childhood. Assistant DA Harvey Dent, his prosecutor, thinks he's fully aware and is pursuing a death penalty, which is as true as one of Joker 2's running questions, even if the original never advanced Stewart's theory. The film opens with a Looney Tunes style cartoon called Me and My Shadow, in which Arthur's shadow literally replaces him to perform in Joker makeup, the primary purpose of which is seemingly to encourage us to wonder if Joker might be his own entity. With Arthur meek and obliging, Stewart's defense just might stick. Yeah, it doesn't sound very good, just to begin with. But anyway, Arthur encounters Lee, aka Harley Quinzel, who takes an immediate interest in him. When they get to talking, they bond quickly. As he discovers love, he begins to sing his feelings, and Lee soon joins him. Sometimes they're singing for real, heard and remembered by those around them. Sometimes, especially when the numbers get more elaborate, it's all in Arthur's head. The more he feels connected to Lee, the more he seems to recover his Joker persona. In his first TV interview since his arrest, he gets combative with Steve Coogan's interviewer, ignoring some of his lawyer's advice. His trial is declared one of the first ever to be fully televised, and the cameras bring out the showman in him. Things only evolve from there. Then, of course, I gotta say, Joker Foileau takes aim at toxic fan culture, and especially those who misread the first movie. Oh, no, Lord forbid that we misread the movie, according to this fucking clown. But anyway, and people who feel that way in general, but whatever. It talks about how Arthur's getting more popular and blah, 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 and everything. Then Lee stands out as the most extreme among them. She's what you might call a Joker groupie, reminiscent of the women who fall madly in love with serial killers after they're behind bars. She encourages the worst in him and fans the flame of his supporters, who rally on the courthouse steps every day. Yet there are doubts. Arthur's lawyer suggests some things that Lee told him weren't exactly truthful. The way she plays the media certainly suggests she's savvy enough to be playing Arthur. Is she just manipulating him to leech off his image? This is meant to be an open question, too, though one I feel more conflicted about. Performance-wise, Gaga does all the right things, and Lee is disconcertingly hard to pin down. But Joker Foileau also withholds her from us to keep up this mystery. Her role is prominent, involves plenty of singing, but she's firmly a supporting figure in Phoenix's movie. I wished more could have been done with her. Well, of course you do, soy boy. It's fucking called the Joker movie. It's not called Harley Quinn. If you wanted it that bad, then, well, you should have told Margot Robbie to do this kind of a Harley Quinn. Although I think that movie would have bombed just as much. Because, a groupie and stuff. And I don't know. Maybe it would have done better. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, then of course, that said, thematically, Lee is fully realized. So what were you complaining about, you fucking clown? But anyway, whatever. Blah blah blah. They had made a TV movie, by the way, also about Arthur and his exploits and stuff before, like in the movie, in the context of that universe, before the trial and everything. Blah blah blah. And it goes on and says, I can now say it most certainly is a musical, despite the filmmaker's amusing claims to the contrary. And I think how annoyed a stereotypical Joker fan might be about that played a big part in the decision. So in other words, you're basically saying, well, the filmmakers were so annoyed by Joker fans, quote unquote, misreading the original, that they decided to completely tank and bomb the second movie just as a, hey, we got you, punk. We're going to stick it to you. Let alone how much money they're going to lose on this fucking movie. Because the movie's still going to lose money. I mean, let's be real. It's not going to make money. The first one, $1 billion and stuff, made a ton of money. This one, I mean, like realistically, I'd just be pulling numbers out of my ass if I were to throw out numbers, but I can't see not even a quarter of that, to be honest. Maybe a little more. I'm not really sure because it's like I'm again, like I said, I'm just pulling these numbers out of my ass. But 300 million, is it going to make that much? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, maybe it makes more. I'm not really sure. But anyway, whatever. The jabs only continue from there. The returning Zazie Beetz testifies that the TV movie caused people to harass her, blaming me for what happened to Arthur. Joker diehards are increasingly associated with psychopaths as the film emphasized Arthur's lack of identification with them. The ending triples down on this. Todd Phillips, the director, might as well be putting Joker on trial in Foiladou, hammering home that a lot of people got his first movie wrong. Arthur isn't really a taxi driver guy anymore this time. He'd rather sing his troubles away. Sounds spectacular. But anyway, then he goes on to complain about the movie. It's just like the first one, still plagued by the same have his cake and eat it too mentality. Consider when Gary, Arthur's former colleague who watched him commit one of his murders, comes in to testify. Joker caught flack for the scene in which Gary, who has dwarfism, cannot reach the chain lock on Arthur's door to flee after the killing. I can still remember my audience laughing. Like, yeah, dude, because it was intended to be a fucking funny part. Why else would they have the entire, like scene where Gary can't reach it and Arthur has to stand up after basically sitting on the floor and go and unlock it and so on and such forth. But anyway, Phillips is once again staging a corrective in Foiladou as Gary testifies to the suffering Arthur caused him and how that moment specifically made him feel so small. His words are meant for the audience as much as his scene partner. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about when I say that this guy is reading way, way into the movie. Now at the same time, Phillips has put a lot of this shit in there. At least I imagine, in part because of this crap that this guy's talking about. Oh, it's so the part that it's funny people were laughing at. Oh God. Oh, it's like, come on. Anyway, Gil's a moving presence in his brief appearance, as he was in the original, even as characters mock him in world. I don't believe either film deliberately sets out to mock him, but neither do they dignify him. In Joker 2, after the camera lingers on the process of Gary getting seated in the witness box, we eventually get a shot of him from behind, revealing him seated on a phone book to boost into the microphone. It's a needless touch that, once again, inspired scattered laughs at my screening. And this in other ways, it's not always fully thought through. This is why the original was often misread in the first place. This film was full of quality craft work, performances, and images. There's much here to appreciate, especially visually, and I enjoyed my time with it. But I'd recommend not asking much more of it than that. Which, by the way, the movie is also 138 minutes long. Doesn't even come out in U.S. theaters for a month. October 4th, it's September 5th as I record this. It's like, what the hell, dude? I mean, as soon as it basically is confirmed, and more people, I mean, which we already basically knew it was going to be a musical, but that I just can't get past the fact that musicals, I as far as I know, people who love musicals and fans of that are very passionate and hardcore, and probably, at least as far as I know, go to see those movies. I just don't think there's that many of them. Not saying that they should never make musicals or anything. I'm all for it. I think it's a misstep here. I think it's a horrible misstep here because it's just, what the hell? What are you doing? It doesn't fit with the first movie. I mean, maybe in certain ways it does, but not it. From the sounds of it, it sounds like they're singing a lot in this movie, and it's like that. That to me is the biggest misstep. If you had him sing a couple times in the movie, yeah, you could probably get away with it. But as much as it, as the guy says here, it's very much a musical. Most certainly is a musical. And it's like, and I know, like, it's kind of annoying that he would like boldface so many lines and stuff here, and a lot of people got the first movie wrong about all that kind of stuff. It's just the movie sounds like a pile of crap, to be honest. I mean, if I'm just going to boil it down, there's no way in hell I'm going to go to the movie theaters to watch this thing whenever it comes out on streaming, which might even be 2 months after it comes out in theaters, if it even takes that long. I'm not going to watch the goddamn thing on streaming or whatever. It seems like a pile of shit. It seems like now if I was interested in it before, which I really wasn't, because I have all the stuff coming out, this would just kill it for me. I don't know about anybody else, and if you're excited for the movie, hey, I'm glad. I'd be I think that'd be really cool if this movie is exactly what you want. Not for me. I mean, for me, and I imagine most fans of the original and stuff, saying this seems terrible. Seems unbelievably terrible and horrible. But anyway, whatever. I didn't have high hopes for it anyway, so whatever. I guess I suppose. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble a little bit. But basically, the overall thing to me just basically seems to be, like I said, any hopes you had for the movie, put them away, toss them to the side, because this movie's going to disappoint you more than likely, no matter how little hope you might have had for it. It's like that the whole meme. Well, we had low hopes for you, and you managed to still disappoint us, or something to that effect. But yeah, like I said, I'm starting to ramble a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. I'll link this in the description box. You can read the whole thing for yourself and everything. But you know, keep hope alive. I guess. I mean, we'll see. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.